Julie's Rock and Roll Travel Show is in Garland, Texas, northeast of Dallas in the greater Dallas-Fort Worth area. This feels like a very friendly small town. Come join me as we check it out and find out why it is a music-friendly designated town. And we'll explore the studio in Garland, where Willie Nelson recorded his 1975 album, Red-Headed Stranger. It had a hit that put him on the pop charts. It's Julie's Rock and Roll Travel Show in Garland, Texas. Join me. This is Garland, Texas, a small city that grew from prairie farmland into a quaint, resilient, culturally rich community. It is just very, very cute. Garland's story begins in the late 1800s when two competing rail depots, Embry and Duck Creek, merged after a devastating fire. The new town that grew from the ashes was named for U.S. Attorney General Augustus Hill Garland, and from that moment on, the city became a magnet for industry, craftsmanship, and families looking to build something lasting. Through the 20th century, Garland became known for manufacturing, rail commerce, and a strong working-class identity that still shapes its character today. By 1938, Dallas cowboy hat makers moved their production up the rail line to Garland, and they still make about 1 million hats every year. Garland made hats have graced the heads of John Travolta in the Urban Cowboy movie, and George Strait and Beyonce. They are both Texans after all. Garland is so proud of their cowboy hat-making history that they had a 20-foot-long cowboy hat sculpture installed right downtown, and they make the claim that it's the biggest cowboy hat in Texas. In 1983, the now-named Granville Arts Center made Garland the first Dallas suburb with its own arts center, home to Garland Summer Musicals, Garland Civic Theater, and Garland Symphony Orchestra. Today, Garland is a diverse, artsy little city offering everything from lakeside recreation at Lake Ray Hubbard to a thriving downtown square with restaurants, theaters, public art, a massive guitar store, and a super groovy record shop. Its cultural scene is growing fast, and the state has taken notice. In 2025, Garland earned the Music Friendly Texas Certified Community designation, a recognition from the Texas Music Office that highlights cities committed to supporting local musicians, venues, and music-driven economic development. I like that. This certification connects Garland to a statewide network of more than 70 music-focused partners, and it underscores the city's commitment to nurturing its creative economy. Today, Garland blends small-town warmth with big city access, historic roots with modern energy, and a growing music culture that's ready to take center stage. It's a place where Texas tradition keeps evolving and where the soundtrack of the city is just getting started. And now we head to Audio Dallas. This is a recording studio once known as Autumn Sound. It is the place where Willie Nelson recorded his 1975 breakthrough album, Red-Headed Stranger. On that album was a hit that crossed over to the pop charts. That's right, it is vintage pop. The song is called Blue Eyes Crying in the Rain. And as we will find out, the studio has been preserved in technical ways as well as aesthetic ways, and they are still producing great music. Julie's Rock and Roll Travel Show is in Garland, Texas. I'm here because this studio is the place where Willie Nelson recorded the Red-Headed Stranger album. This was an album that changed everything for him. In 1975, Willie Nelson walked into this tiny studio, then called Autumn Sound. He was far from Nashville, far from expectations, and recorded an album that would change American music forever and definitely change his life. That album was Red-Headed Stranger. It didn't sound like anything on the radio. Sparse, haunting, almost whispered. His record label thought it sounded like demos, but Willie knew exactly what he was doing. He had just signed with Columbia Records in an unusual deal that finally gave him total creative control over his music. And with that freedom, he built this concept album about a fugitive on the run from the law after killing his wife and her lover. It's a story of guilt, loss, and redemption told in the quietest voice possible. And right in the middle of that strange, beautiful record was a song that would change Willie's life. Blue Eyes Crying in the Rain. This song was written in 1945 by Fred Rose, but it was never a hit for anyone until Willie sang it his way, stripped down, aching, and honest. His record label hated it and pressed him hard to have it overdubbed, remixed, like anything to make it sound different. But in the end, the agreement with the label was that Willie had total creative control, and it was honored, and the album was released as it was. And after that, everything shifted for Willie. Blue Eyes Crying in the Rain became Nelson's first #1 single on the Billboard country chart. It even crossed over into the mainstream, vintage pop, if you will, landing at number 21 on the Billboard Hot 100. And this introduced Willie to a whole new audience. And it earned him his first of 12 Grammy Awards. Best Country Vocal Performance, male. That one song turned Willie Nelson from a respected songwriter into a superstar. And the album behind it, Red-Headed Stranger, became his first chart-topping record, later added to the National Recording Registry for its cultural significance. Today, it's considered one of the greatest country albums ever made and one of the strangest, boldest artistic risks ever to pay off. Columbia executive Rick Blackburn later commented that Red-Headed Stranger was a hit for all the wrong reasons. It didn't follow the formula, that fashionable mix of the day. But the Red-Headed Stranger project took on Willie's personality, and it became a hit for the right reasons, because it was Willie Nelson. It was Willie's statement, and that's Willie, true to himself, authentic, willing to put out what he thought was right, and he scored big. A tiny Texas studio, a quiet concept album, a single song that lit the fuse. Red-Headed Stranger didn't just revive Willie Nelson's career, it made him an outlaw, and it made him a legend. Thanks so much for watching, and please take a second to like and subscribe.